So Duel is the next movie we're going to be discussing. This is from director Riley Stearns, who did a movie I really enjoyed called The Art of Self-Defense.
Ask me a question.
What are your plans for the weekend?
I'm going to do some grocery shopping and rent a film.
Pretty fun little movie, campy, enjoyable, stilted, weird. And that's pretty much what Duel is. Campy, enjoyable, stilted, and weird. It's going to be pretty polarizing, I'm sure, because it is a strange movie. The movie is incredibly awkward. It's incredibly dry, deadpan, and the dialogue is very stilted. Everyone delivers their lines like this, and very quickly. This movie was very fun. This movie is very enjoyable. I will say that I liked it quite a bit. What would you think about it? That's kind of how they talk. It's dry. It's incredibly dry, and it lends itself really well to this premise, which is Karen Gillan is a dying person. She has some vague illness, terminal illness that they never specify that's killing her slowly. So to save her family the tears of her dying, she gets a replacement version of herself that becomes her own person that the whole family likes more than her, which is kind of hilarious. But in this near future world where clones are a thing, apparently if your terminal illness goes away, which it does for Karen Gillan, then you can't have the replacement anymore. But if the replacement wants to stick around, then you have to duel to the death to decide who will carry on and who will not, obviously.
When she makes a recovery, and since there can't be two of you existing at the same time, they're ordered to a duel to the death, which they have a year to train for.
And it is a really enjoyable premise. Now, that premise is not believable. If you were to take this premise seriously, I don't think this would work at all, but there is quite a bit of humor in this, plus that awkward, deadpan, and stilted dialogue goes a long way into transporting me into this world in a way that I thought worked very well. It's so weird, it's so awkward, it's so uncomfortable, and it is hilarious. There are many, many moments when I was laughing hysterically just at how awkward the whole thing is. There's some great sequences between Karen Gillan and Aaron Paul, who is her fitness instructor trying to train her on how to murder herself. But you'd think, obviously, that they're gonna think of something and they're gonna get romantic. But no, she just teaches him hip-hop. They don't have a romantic connection at all. They're just friends. And I loved that little subversion of expectations. You think the whole movie that she's going to get a love interest because her boyfriend leaves her for her clone. But it never happens. She's just independent. She's strong, she does her thing, she's kind of pathetic, but in a way that I found to be believable and relatable. It's just a really enjoyable little movie, and it's not as if it's reinventing anything, or as if the filmmaking is stellar or anything like that. It's just a well-made, straightforward movie about someone that's gonna try and kill their clone.
Adopting Riley's rhythm of writing and making sure I could deliver that in a way that served his writing as best as it could. I think that was a big challenge, and that was probably the most rewarding part of the film, was taking on that style, which I had never done before, and it's weirdly difficult to just speak like matter of fact.
And it's very awkward and funny and enjoyable. And the action is pretty fun as well. And the performances are fun. I just enjoyed this movie. It had me from start to finish. I'll probably give it a 7 or an 8. I gave it an 8 straight out of viewing, but thinking about it, it's probably more of a 7, mainly because the third act is not good. I haven't mentioned that, but the third act completely goes off the rails in a way that does not work at all, especially because it's not subtle. The ending of this is just the most unambiguous thing ever, which it desperately needed to have some subtlety, and it just doesn't. It's like the scene at the end of Inception when the top is spinning, and it kind of wobbles, and then people just go crazy about, is it a dream or not? This is like that scene, but without any subtlety whatsoever. So, yeah, good movie, enjoyable, really fun, funny, but